Welcome to ChatSmart English. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for practical tips and techniques to improve your English fluency. Your support helps us bring more valuable content to your screen. Today, we'll talk about how to memorize new words effectively. Building your vocabulary is essential for fluency, but many learners struggle to retain new words. Let me share some stories of students who faced similar challenges and how they overcame them. I remember a student named Sarah who came to me feeling frustrated. She said, "Teacher, I try so hard to remember new words, but I always forget them." I smiled and told her, "Sarah, don't worry. Memorizing new words isn't about cramming them into your head. It's about making them part of your daily life." I shared a simple story with her. I said, "Imagine learning a new word is like planting a seed. You don't just throw the seed into the ground and expect a tree the next day. You water it, give it sunlight, and care for it every day. Slowly but surely, the seed grows into a strong tree." Sarah asked, "But how do I water these words, teacher?" I told her, "You water them by practicing. When you learn a new word, try to use it in a sentence immediately. Write it down, say it out loud, and find ways to use it in your daily conversations. For example, if you learn the word joyful, say, "I feel joyful when I see my friends." This way, the word becomes a part of your life, just like watering the seed every day. A week later, Sarah came back with a smile. She said, "Teacher, I used your advice, and I can remember so many words now." Her confidence had grown, and so had her love for learning new words. Another student, Jack, came to me one day looking defeated. He said, "Teacher, I always forget the words I study. I try to memorize them, but they just don't stick." I could see how discouraged he felt, so I shared a different approach with him. I said, "Jack, memorizing words isn't just about repeating them over and over. You need to make them a part of your world." I told him about a technique that many students find useful, keeping a vocabulary journal. I explained, whenever you learn a new word, write it down in a notebook, along with its meaning and an example sentence. For instance, if you learn the word curious, write, "I am curious about learning new things." Then, review your journal every day. This way, you're not just memorizing, you're revisiting the words until they become familiar. Jack looked thoughtful and asked, "But what if I still forget them?" I smiled and said, "Don't worry about forgetting, Jack. It's normal. The more you practice, the better you'll remember. Try using the words in your conversations or even imagining situations where you can use them." A week later, Jack came to me, holding a small notebook. He said, "Teacher, I've been writing down words and reviewing them every day. Now I can remember most of them, and I even used some when talking to my friends." I could see the confidence in his eyes. He had turned his frustration into progress. Memorizing new words requires consistency and smart strategies. One of the best ways to remember new vocabulary is by creating associations. For example, if you learn the word serene, link it to a calming image like a peaceful beach. Visualizing the meaning of the word helps your brain retain it better. Another effective technique is repetition. Revisit new words regularly through flashcards or apps like Anki. Write the word, its definition, and an example sentence on a flashcard. Review these cards daily and quiz yourself to reinforce your memory. Using new words in sentences is equally important. For instance, if you learn the word optimistic, try saying, "I feel optimistic about my future." When you use words in context, they become more meaningful and easier to recall. Listening and speaking also play a huge role in memorization. Listen to English songs, podcasts, or watch movies and try to pick out new words. Pause and repeat the word out loud to practice pronunciation. Speaking the words helps to embed them into your active vocabulary. Write a journal or short paragraphs using the new words. Writing solidifies your learning and helps you recall the words faster when you need them in conversations. The key is to integrate new words into your daily routine and practice them often. Another powerful way to memorize new words is by grouping them into categories. For example, if you're learning words related to emotions, group them together: happy, joyful, excited, elated. This technique helps your brain recognize patterns and recall words faster. It's also helpful to engage your senses when learning new vocabulary. Write the word down, say it out loud, and even draw a simple picture to represent it. For instance, if you're learning the word mountain, sketch a small hill with trees around it. This multi-sensory approach strengthens your memory and makes learning more enjoyable. Another great strategy is to create your own personal dictionary. Keep a small notebook or use an app to list new words you encounter, along with their meanings and examples. Review this list frequently and challenge yourself to use these words during conversations. Additionally, practice active recall. Instead of passively rereading words, close your notebook and try to recall their meanings or use them in a sentence. For instance, if the word is grateful, you can think, "I am grateful for my family." Active recall strengthens your memory better than passive review. Immerse yourself in English. Surround yourself with the language as much as possible. Change the language settings on your phone to English. Label items around your home with their English names, or join an online conversation group. Immersion keeps you connected to the language and naturally boosts your vocabulary. Another effective way to memorize new words is by creating stories or sentences using them. For example, if you're learning the words adventurous and explore, you could make a sentence like, "I am an adventurous person who loves to explore new places." Stories and sentences help you understand how words are used and make them easier to remember. Engaging in active reading is also a great strategy. While reading books, articles, or even subtitles in English, underline or highlight unfamiliar words. Later, look up their meanings and try to use them in your own sentences. This method helps you learn words in context, which is far more effective than just memorizing lists. Using technology can also make learning fun. There are many apps like Quizlet or Duolingo designed to teach vocabulary in an interactive way. These tools often include games, quizzes, and spaced repetition techniques, which are proven to improve memory. Another tip is to teach others what you've learned. When you explain a new word to a friend, sibling, or classmate, you reinforce your own understanding of it. For example, if you've recently learned the word enthusiastic, tell someone, "This word means showing a lot of excitement or energy about something." Teaching makes you more confident in your learning. Don't forget to practice patience and consistency. Learning new words takes time, and it's normal to forget some along the way. Focus on progress, not perfection. Even remembering and using a few new words every week is a step toward improving your vocabulary and fluency in English. Another fantastic way to memorize new words is through repetition and review. The spaced repetition technique is particularly effective. This means reviewing words at increasing intervals, first after a few hours, then after a day, then a week, and so on. This method strengthens your memory and prevents you from forgetting the words you've learned. Incorporating new words into your hobbies can also help. If you enjoy cooking, learn food-related words like stir, chop, and season. If you're a sports fan, focus on terms like goal, teamwork, or strategy. When you connect words to something you're passionate about, they become easier to remember because they're relevant to your interests. Practice also makes perfect when it comes to speaking. Use the new words you've learned in daily conversations, even if you're just talking to yourself. For instance, if you're walking outside and see a beautiful flower, say to yourself, "This flower looks vibrant and colorful." Speaking the words aloud helps with both memory and pronunciation. Listening is just as important as speaking. Pay attention to how native speakers use words in conversations, movies, or podcasts. Notice their tone, pronunciation, and sentence structure. For example, if you hear the word fascinating in a sentence like, "This book is fascinating," you not only learn the word but also understand its usage in context. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Many students hesitate to use new words because they fear mispronouncing them or using them incorrectly. Remember, mistakes are a part of learning. Every time you use a word, you're one step closer to mastering it. Keep practicing, and soon those words will become a natural part of your English vocabulary. Another creative way to memorize new words is by associating them with emotions or personal experiences. For example, if you learn the word thrilled, think about a moment when you were extremely happy, like winning a game or receiving a gift. Linking words to your own emotions creates a stronger memory connection. Using music and songs is also a fun and effective method. Listen to English songs and pay attention to the lyrics. When you hear a new word, look it up and sing along. For instance, if a song includes the word journey, you'll remember it more easily because of the melody and context. Flashcards can be a game changer, but make them interesting. Instead of just writing the word and its meaning, include a picture, a sentence, or even a synonym. For example, for the word generous, you could write, "Generous means kind and giving," and draw a picture of someone sharing. This adds a visual element to your learning. Engage in real-life practice as much as possible. If you're at a cafe and see a menu in English, try reading it aloud and recognizing any new words. If you encounter a word like savory, think about how it relates to the taste of food. Real-life examples make learning more practical and memorable. Challenge yourself with games and quizzes. Play word games like Scrabble, crosswords, or online vocabulary challenges. These games test your knowledge in a fun way and expose you to new words. They also make learning a group activity, so you can involve your friends or family. Remember, learning new words doesn't have to feel like hard work. The more creative and interactive your approach, the easier it will be to build your vocabulary and enjoy the process. Another technique that works wonders for memorizing new words is creating a word map. A word map helps you break down a new word and understand its various aspects. Start with the word in the center, then draw branches around it with related words, synonyms, antonyms, and example sentences. For instance, if the word is courage, you could branch out to words like brave, fearless, hero, and so on. This helps you see the bigger picture and makes the word more memorable by connecting it to other concepts. You can also use the word of the day technique. Choose a new word each day and focus on learning it fully. Use it in conversations, write it in your journal, and try to recall it throughout the day. The consistency of practicing one word per day adds up over time and can significantly expand your vocabulary. Learning words through storytelling is another powerful method. Create short stories using the new words you've learned. For example, if you've learned the word mysterious, you could write a story like, "The mysterious figure appeared out of nowhere." This method helps you understand how words are used naturally and reinforces their meaning in context. If you're a visual learner, try using a vocabulary board. Write new words on sticky notes and stick them around your room or workspace. Every time you see a word, take a moment to read it and think of a sentence that uses it. This constant exposure to the words throughout the day helps commit them to memory. Finally, engage with others who are learning English. Join a study group or participate in an online language exchange. Talking with others who are also learning gives you more opportunities to use the new words you've memorized. The social interaction makes the words feel more natural and encourages you to remember them for longer. In conclusion, memorizing new words takes patience, creativity, and consistent practice. By using these techniques, whether through visual associations, repetition, storytelling, or real-life practice, you'll find that new words begin to stick in your memory more easily. Remember, language learning is a journey, and every new word you master brings you one step closer to fluency. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who are on their English learning journey. And if you want to continue improving your English, be sure to check out our other videos here on ChatSmart English, where we provide even more strategies to help you become a confident and fluent English speaker. Thank you for watching and keep practicing. Your progress is just a word away.